Welcome back to the exciting adventures of Beefstick the Barbarian. Last time, we defeated the Dweller, a forest lurker, out in the Black Meadow. Buried the scroll of whale beneath a skull out in that same area. Came back to Defiance Bay, told Grimda that we hid the scroll on behalf of Whale. As I was hoping, she understood, rewarded us. Then I came over here and talked to Lady Webb. Found out that they too had been looking into the Leaden Key and agreed to cooperate and work together with the Dunrid Row for mutual benefit.
How fares your search?
How do you know so much about Theos?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many. Yes?
Tell me more about Dunrid Row.
All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed.
You got a point.
We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's standing army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths all around them. I wish I could tell people the things I know sometimes. But the truth is, I don't think many of them could bear it.
How did you come to be here?
Me? I started this place, in a different time, under a different duke. I impressed the duke with my research and my work ethic, and he became possessed of the notion that I would be ideal to lead a secret network of gifted investigators. I don't know how such an idea got into his head.
She winks. Oh, you. Oh, you. Are you psychic?
If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your mind.
That's not what I was getting at.
I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies for. Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there.
Gotcha.
Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course.
She cocks a painted eyebrow.
A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come, but these are fleeting and unreliable.
You said you don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Who said I was talented? I don't. Least not that I can trust. And with me, it's only ever about one thing anyway.
What's that?
A quiet day at home.
She glances back behind her, toward a small table, and a queer smile finds its way across her face. Alright. That's enough. Guess I need to talk to the guards and ask. Try to find this neighborhood. I would have thought it would have been where I am now. But maybe it's not. Either way, I should go talk to the guards.
Yes.
I'm looking for a place with a tower. I don't really see a tower in here, though. Could be Andra's gift, I suppose. There's plenty of misery there. Some wealthy people that come to the Salty Mast. And the lighthouse could be considered a tower. I'm looking for a neighborhood with a tower. It's near a cemetery. Best you stop looking then. The place you want is Heritage Hill. You can see the tower over the district walls out that way. Just the sheer points to the northwest. But something happened there. They don't let people in anymore, and none of the knights want to be posted there, posted anywhere close to it. Steer clear if you know what's good for you. Where are the mad kept in Defiance Bay? Only place around here that takes them is Brackenbury Sanitarium. I've heard they can treat your soul there, take the madness away. But there's just as many stories coming out of that place that'll chill your blood. There's a man, if you want to call him that. Ethelmower there. He's head warden. If you're visiting or checking yourself in, he's the one to talk to. Alright, let's go to the sanitarium and look for Ethelmore. So where the heck is Ethelmore? Bella Sage, can you tell me?
Greetings.
Yeah, but where is he? Where is this head warden?
Hail and well met.
Somebody help me out here. I don't know where the guy is. This must be behind one of those 2 locked doors in the sanitarium, but I don't know how to get through them. Is it showing up the inn or something? Bandits. Where the heck is this guy? One more quick look through the sanitarium, and I'm just gonna move on because this isn't doing anything. It's gotta be behind one of these doors, right? Oh, is it this statue? Yes, alright. Oh, I should have remembered that. Wow. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down, unblinking, over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There's a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned toward you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I could only imagine how it might have helped me in work in life. Now, what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. Ethelmore groans and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own, but a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it. They're up to something, and I'm trying to determine what. They are always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. They have. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. That is my only request.
Hail, traveler.
Well, nothing new from him. It's probably going to be that Mordred guy that's going to have more information for you. I'm investigating possible Leaden Key activity in the sanitarium. See anything suspicious? Oh, I'm afraid I'm too wrapped up in my own research to pay any mind to what else is going on around here. One of the other animancers might know something, though. How about you, Bella Sage? Oh, okay. And you, Mordred.
Welcome.
Well, I've talked to all the named animancers. A heavy lock holds the trunk shut. It's too sturdy to break and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. You'll need to find the key.
Hail and well met.
Oh, there's an open door now. Imagine that. Ripley. Believe it or not.
Eyes open.
Well,
A simple test.
sweet. A level up. Northward patient record. Batixa, the Pale Lady. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as the soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillates between violence and severe depression resulting from guilt of past deeds. Weak candidate for present research. Subject is a male, approximately early 30s. Powers of speech absent, presumably as a result of overfragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and I have had to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. The Midnight Man, Idleman. Subject is male, mid-20s, displays acute dissociation and paranoid delusional tendencies, causing anger and extreme violence. Dangers of working with the subject preclude possibility of further use in present research. Ushgrim. Subject is a male, approximately 17 years of age, admitted for episodes of catatonia followed by occasional violent outbursts. Initial analysis of soul revealed severe fragmentation and essence deficiency. Said deficiency all but eliminates the possibility of utilizing the subject in present research. Alright, well, let's level Beefstick up. Level 9. I have 6 points. I could do stealth, survival, athletics, do a point of anything. Let's add a dreadful shout, terrifying enemies in the area of effect. 2 per rest. 7.5 meter radius from caster. Foe AoE, terrified for 20 seconds. It's not bad. Vengeful defeat. Exerts a final revenge when the barbarian reduces to 0 endurance, causing him or her to perform an instant carnage full attack at everyone in range. Okay, so it's got to be one of these. Let's get barbaric shout. Alright, we should talk to Ripley. Note from Azo. Ripley, I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requisition it from the sanitarium stores. I don't have the time to deal with head warden's inevitable questions. Kidman Azo.
Hail, traveler.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of the books in front of her. Row by row, her motions quick and skittish like a bird's. She does not notice you until you are nearly upon her. Oh my! You startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? What do you do here? I mostly help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself. If there's nothing else, I need to get back to my work. Alright. Well, whatever's beyond this wall, that's... I imagine I have to get this way to get there. Let's talk to that warden statue again.
Hello.
I found records that Azo may be running some questionable experiments. Experiments? Cademan Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Cademan. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would also ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough trouble as it is. Alright, Adair, Durrance, and Alaf up a level. Alright, my man, let's get your stealth up. It's already got weapon specialization. That's pretty good, unbending. You might get that. This is also damn good. Confident aim. Help him do more damage. Disciplined barrage, 1 per encounter. Plus 10 accuracy for 17.3 seconds. I don't want a different modal one. I'm fine with the modal I use now. Critical defense, passive. Fighter extends extra effort to repel the most savage blows, causing a percentage of all incoming critical hits to be converted to hits, and hits converted to grazes. That's definitely useful. Clear out. Sweeping attack. Rest into the fray. I think I'm gonna get unbending. Make him even tougher. He's gonna be regenerating like crazy. Alright. I can't afford to get more mechanics for him now. If I just get 1 point in athletics, that still leaves 4 points. And next level, I could get another point in mechanics. Yes. Yes. Ooh. 5th level spells. Champion's Boon. Grants a divine favor to an ally, imbuing him or her with a bonus to might, perception, and all damage reductions. Cool. Pillar of Holy Fire. Summons a flaming pillar of righteous anger, burning everyone in the area of effect. Prayer against imprisonment. Instills a spirit of liberation in allies in the area of effect, granting a bonus against attacks with paralyzed or petrified afflictions and reducing the duration of any such afflictions currently on the target. Restore critical endurance. Revive the Fallen. Grants fallen friends a second chance, reviving unconscious allies in the area of effect and restoring a small amount of their endurance. That'll be useful. Salvation of Time. Beseeches the gods for more time, extending the duration of all beneficial effects on allies in the area of effect. Shields for the Faithful. Conjures a powerful holy shield, granting a deflection bonus to all allies in the area of effect. Alright, pretty cool. And Alof. Well, let's see. Get your survival up. Level 5 spells. I need 2 of them. Archimer's Wondrous Torment. Drains the target's resolve and intellect, creating 2 less powerful versions of the effect that jump to nearby enemies when the first effect ends. Oh. What's the range on this? 15 meters. Blast of Frost. Creates a bitter surge of ice and freezing cold air, inflicting freeze damage on anyone caught in the conical area of effect. 7.76 meter length, 75 degree cone. Pretty beefy freeze damage. Call to Slumber. Causes a group of enemies to momentarily fall asleep, going prone for a short duration. 10 meter range. 3.88 meter radius. Faux AoE, so it doesn't hit friends, which is good. Prone for 14 seconds. Nice. That is damn useful. Kitzal's Spirit Lance. Creates a pike of pure magical force that deals pierce damage and causes a foe-only blast explosion like wands do. It doesn't say how much damage it does. It summons the lance for 63 seconds. Oh, it's a weapon that he uses. It's a pike. Alright. Lengraf's Safeguard. An insidious magical contingency activates when the caster hits 50% endurance. He or she immediately knocks all immediately close enemies prone, while gaining a damage reduction and defense bonus for a short time. Alright. Effects caster plus 20 deflection, plus 20 fortitude, plus 20 reflex, plus 20 will, plus 10 damage reduction for 84 seconds. Nice, and it's foe only. That's damn useful. Cast that one early, and then if he gets damaged, boom, some enemies get hurt. Malignant Cloud. Generates a cloud of virulent poison, inflicting raw damage to anyone in the cloud every few seconds. 10 meter range, 3.88 meter radius, 14 second duration, 11 to 16 raw damage. Probably per 2 or 3 seconds. But it's raw damage, so no damage reduction whatsoever. It stays there, it's not bad. Ninagoth's Bitter Mooring. Wait, is this only... Yeah, that will damage my friends too, though. Ninagoth's Bitter Mooring. The target is hit with a stuck affliction and becomes an anchor for a frigid ray of energy from the wizard that does freezing damage to enemies in its path. 8-meter range, duration 15 seconds, target 22 to 31 freeze, stuck for 4.2 seconds, beam 22 to 31 freeze, stuck for 4.2 seconds. Alright. Not too keen on that though, because I probably wind damaging my guys with it. Ringrim's Enervating Terror causes enemies in the area of effect to envision their worst fears, causing them to be weakened and terrified. 20-meter range, 3.88 meter radius. Foe terrified for 28 seconds, weakened for 28 seconds. Ooh, very nice. I like that. Torrent of Flame instantiates a terrifying inferno of flame around the caster, inflicting burn damage on everyone nearby. 3.88 meter radius, 44 to 60 burn. Yeah, the problem with that is I need to get all my allies away from him and basically get him smack dab in the middle of enemies, which is just a bad idea. So I don't foresee myself ever using that. Not purposely. Maybe there would be a situation where that would be useful, but that'd be pretty rare because I try to keep him out of situations like that as much as possible. Wall of Force creates a semi-permeable barrier that inflicts crush damage and hobbles enemies when they pass through it, but leaves allies unscathed. Oh, that's good. 12-meter range, 20-meter wall, 30-second duration, 47 crush, hobbled for 28 seconds. Alright. I think I want the Enervating Terror. That's pretty good. Decent area of effect. Damn good range. Average casting time, so not bad. And a very long duration. So I want that. And Frostblast does so much damage. I just have to be careful where I cast it. I don't know how often I get to use it. That cone without fear of hitting my own guys. 75-degree cone. That's relatively narrow, but I'd still have to be careful with it. But man, that damage is damn good. Call to Slumber would be pretty awesome too, though. Knock a bunch of enemies flat to the ground, and they're just prone for 14 seconds, and I'm there stabbing them away. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 2 debilitating spells, and I'll pass on a pure damage spell. I might get Blast of Frost next level, or if I find it in the Grimoire. But these 2. Landgraf's Safeguard would be pretty useful too. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Call to Slumber and Ringrim's Enervating Terror. Sweet. Alright, let's head back downstairs. I'm assuming those are in my Grimoire now?
How may I help?
Yes, they are.
I shall.
Be careful in there. I will. Frail. It's a guard. Construct. Frail was which one? Is he one of the patients? Yeah. Graham, Pale Lady, Idleman, Bushcraft. No. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward. Her greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. Do you know where I might find Azo? I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Have any of the patients been acting unusually? Well, there's Batixa, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman, who they say only has half a soul and who was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for a new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. I should, what do you know about Azo? Oh, I like him very much. Many animancers could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for their experiments, but Master Azo treats us like humans. Even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. Well, what happened to him? Freyo's eyes dart back and forth, and her voice lowers to just above a whisper. They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Durwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash, even if he was a bit of a showman. He loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work, suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it. But he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Andra's gift? No, tell me. They call them buoys because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. The grieving mother's hands fly to her ears, and her mouth frames a silent scream. Only her mind speaks. Evils that magnify tragedies. This is what we must stop. Oh, I agree. Anyway, Master Azo had scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copperlane. He was so excited. And then the next day he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard. And he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him. But I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. I think the leaden key got to him. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor. Just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Why are you in here? Behind her hair, her cheeks flush. I don't want to say. You'll think less of me. Oh, I'm gonna charm her up. When you blush, it brings out the color of your eyes. Her blush deepens and she ducks her head forward to bury her face deeper beneath her hair. These last few years haven't been kind to me. They haven't been kind to anyone, really. I try not to think of it as personal. I lost my husband and both boys in the Saints' War. My daughter, the legacy took her before she was ever mine. I made do. What else can you do? I moved into a tiny place in Adra's gift. Got by mending clothes and on the kindness of strangers when I had to. But I was surviving and the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day this noble woman comes in, wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing, this shade of blue I've never seen before. Only I looked at it and it reminded me of something. I had what they call an awakening. Yeah, I know about those. I remember being a noble woman myself in another life. People doting over me, men doting over me. Me! The best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you'd never dare to dream of. They were mine. It was poison knowing that. All those things I had that I'll never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls of my little room seemed to close in around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. So I came here. It was that or break into an estate and start ordering servants around. It seems like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me. But I can't get past it. And I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible thing must have I done to deserve it? Maybe you'll get there again one day. If not in this life, then in another. The strange part is, I think even the best wouldn't be good enough for me anymore. I think I must have gotten to that point when I was that noble lady. Alright, well, let's look for Azo. What's this? Patient? I'll leave him be. I think this way. Yes. Alright, so the laboratory's here, but what's over here? Let's talk to Azo. If he's in here. Yeah, he is. Something churns and bubbles in this tank. The copper wires and conduits are shiny. The device is warm to the touch. I could open this.
A simple test.
I have just enough lockpicks.
That's settled.
Ooh, a mace. He's wielding a mace or a scepter. Okay, that's a two-hander, huh? Raven Wing. Legend tells of a druid, wise and powerful, who traveled accompanied by a flock of ravens. In battle, the druid would assail his enemies with his mace, while the ravens descended in a chaotic swarm, distracting and flanking his foes. Years of coordinated attacks and the druid's lingering magics are said to have gifted his mace with an enchantment that lends the wielder similar gifts. The mace is finely wrought and lightweight, making it maneuverable, if not very resistant against direct attacks. Against a distracted opponent, however, a single blow often proves quite sufficient. Where's that mace again? There we go. Alright. Well, it does a lot more damage than his scepter. It's a little slower. It bypasses damage reduction. +4 accuracy when attacking the same target as an ally, and times 1.25 damage. And extra damage. Like, this is way better. Well, his scepter is not even special. Yeah, I'm definitely ooh, I could make it exceptional. But how often is he actually going to do it? I may want to hold on to that. Secondary damage. No, let's just leave it alone for now.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed. Yes.
I can do that. That's settled.
Ooh. Blade Golan. Blade Golan Wolfheart is said to have been blessed by the Lord of the Hunt himself, a human hunter showing skill with a bow and arrow beyond any before seen. Caught Galawain's attention one day. Galawain proposed a bargain. If the hunter could best him in a hunting contest, Galawain would present her with the power of a wolf. For the next week, both hunters tracked their respective quarry through the woods, and when the contest was ended, the hunter had felled the most game. True to his word, Galawain presented her with the wolf heart, which gave her the crafty and evasive nature of its namesake. Half stun duration, half knockdown, plus 20 defense while stunned, plus 20 defense while thrown, plus 2 damage reduction. I still like his armor's ability, area of effect. Speaking of which, can I enchant this with a... I don't have enough for exceptional. I don't know if I want to go with fine. Okay. Well, let's compare this to what she's wearing. Alright, well, it's less damage resistance. Doesn't have of intellect, though I could do that myself. Ooh, I could do of intellect 2. Or of might, make her spells more powerful. She doesn't do that many AoE spells, so of might might be better. But am I already getting might bonuses? Resolve, Constitution. I don't think so. Yeah. I might just do that. Any damage reductions to slash or crush or whatever. Nope, so it doesn't really matter which one. Corrode, crush, pierce, slash. Let's crush proof it. reduces her deflection. Well, not really. Does reduce those a little bit, but it's worth it in the long run. It's too might. Yeah.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
Alright, let's talk to this guy.
Indeed.
A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upwards slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Ethelmore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmore hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If Animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backwards and willfully ignorant as Ritsaras. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. I never thought I'd find myself in agreement with a statue, but Ethelmore is right about this fellow, at least. He sneers at Azo. How easily ambition masquerades as prudence. I'll bet he's fooled even himself. Surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives.
Indeed. Many lives have been spent in such pursuits, writing treatises and poems. But tell me this, how does one verify the truth of a poem? If some philosopher stumbled across the meaning of our existence, how would we know it from a false one? These are wasted lives. In Animancy there is progress. We are measurably closer to complete understanding because of our work. And that will be true until our work is complete.
Oh boy, he's very full of himself.
Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an Animancer, or it will be no one at all.
I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. I've seen your records. I know what you're doing with them.
Those are private. You have no right.
Mm-hmm. He balls up his fists and digs his teeth into his index finger, a growl simmering beneath his breath and a deep scowl compressing his face. Don't attack me, dude. Don't attack me. You don't do this, man. Don't do this. It's not gonna end well for you.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
He pulls a heavy key from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Have you tried experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it, now that Ethelmore is involved. I asked for volunteers from her patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. I heard you were demoted. How did it happen? Azo's nostrils flare and he bares his upper teeth more broadly. That's none of your concern! Did one of the others put you up to this? Oddmer? That smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how. I'll never know. He spits on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste from his mouth. Alright, I'm gonna leave you be. I got the key to the North Ward. And the North Ward is where we shall go next time.